Hi, I'm Preston DeGuys. In this video, I'll be looking at Avamar and Microsoft SQL Server. I'll take you through how to perform a table-level recovery from a SQL Server backup. Now, I'll be using SQL Server 2008 on Windows 2016, but the same procedure can of course be used on more recent versions of SQL Server. So let's get started by launching the SQL Server Management Studio and having a look at my databases. I've got a database here using my initials with two tables in it, data and data2. After I have a quick look at the contents of data2, I'll delete that table. But what if that turns out to be a mistake? Deleting a table can be an inconvenience if you have to get it back with a full database recovery or rollback. However, using Avamar, we can mount the backup, then copy and paste the table back into the database. So let's get started. Use your web browser to log into the AUI. Because this is just a lab, I'm using the MC user account, but in a production environment, you'll usually authenticate as someone else here. Once you're logged in, you'll expand the asset list, browse to the client the database resides on, select the client, and then click Restore to start the wizard. You start the wizard by selecting the backup you want to recover from. For this table-level recovery, I'll use the most recent. I want to recover back to the original client, and for the backup content, I'll select the database I deleted the table from and enable the TLR option, short for table-level recovery. Avamar will warn me that that mount may take a little while to complete. Now, I can choose what drive to mount the backup on and how long I want the backup to remain mounted for. I'll leave the defaults as they are and finish the wizard. Now that the backup has been mounted, let's go see what that looks like on the disk. If we browse to the Z drive, you'll see the local directory for the instance name, and then you'll see all the databases, including the one that I want to recover from. Now, a SQL DBA could grab a copy of those files, rename them to .back, and use them as SQL backups, but the neater option here is to launch ItemPoint to copy and paste the table. ItemPoint asks you whether you want to work with files or a folder. For this, I'll choose Folder and point it to the PMDG folder that we saw earlier, then click Next to continue. Now you can choose the SQL server and database you want to connect to, and the authentication to use. As you can gather by this, you could connect to a completely different server, which is a great way of copying just a single table into another database elsewhere within your environment. I'll use the settings that are already there and click Finish. This will prompt ItemPoint to read the database backup so I can then do some copying and pasting. Now I can browse my source and target databases. To get the table back, it's as simple as right-clicking the source table to choose Copy, then right-clicking on the target database to choose Paste. Once the table has been pasted back into the database, I can close ItemPoint. I'll use Microsoft SQL Management Studio now to confirm that my table is back. And that's all there is to table level recovery in SQL Server using Avamar. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the blog for more details.